Hi fam, welcome to my channel. So today I'm gonna bring you close. I want us to talk about my plans for my bonus money. What is it that I want to do? What is it, my thought process before I get my bonus? Because guys, I don't wait until I get my income for me to budget. I budget prior to that. But also, as much as I may not know exactly how much is going to be in terms of my bonus, but I know that it's coming and I can estimate based on my gross income and for the fact that I do how I've set up my bonus, of which I'm going to take you guys through that. I honestly do not have an outline for this video. I want it to be a conversation. I do have my beverage of choice today. I normally do not have a beverage whenever I sit down and create these videos. I do have my tea. It is full in there. It is rooibos tea with just normal creamer, which is will be easy, you guys. First things first, let's talk about how I've set it up, because I do work in the public sector currently. And in the public sector, what they do is when it's your birthday month, what they do is they double your salary, meaning that you get your bonus. So my birthday is in May, so I normally get my bonus then. And what they do is that they double however amount that you get as your gross salary. They don't double your net, they double your gross salary. And then obviously there are deductions that come out of that. Then you would need to know how much you got after those deductions. First thing that I want us to look at is how I set up my bonus. How I've set it up is that there's this agreement that you can do. I think now it's mandatory, where instead of being taxed on my bonus, and I want to be taxed per month. So the money that you would tax me on my bonus, tax it per month, meaning that now my tax per month becomes higher. My gross is very close to 50K. I'm not going to say exactly how much it is, but my gross is very close to 50K. So I am going to say that my bonus is likely to be 44K. So this is how much money I'm going to be working with when it comes to me setting up my plan in terms of how do I plan to allocate this money. And I'm going to be taking you guys through my thought process. Let me have a sip. Oh, I haven't heard anything to eat, so this tea is hitting the right place. Okay, so the first thing, you guys, that I like to max out my tax-free. So I'm just going to put out here tax-free account. This is something that I've shared in the previous times, that I normally max out my tax-free account whenever I get my bonus. And you know that the tax-free allowance per year for a person, for an individual, is 36,000. And 500,000 per lifetime. But the goal is to make sure that you do not exceed the 36,000, because if you do, you will attract tax implications. So we don't want that. So what I do is that normally when I get my bonus, I would want to pay for this, that I would want to max out my tax-free account. But this year, I might not be able to do that right off. But it's something that I will definitely be pushing to make sure that by the time it is March next year, it is maxed out. And I do not know how much money I'm going to be putting in right now. At first, when I did my budget, I thought 30,000 would be fine. And then the 6,000 is something that I can put in as we go. But then I also have, because there are things that I am planning to do, there are changes that are coming, which I'm not going to share here right now. The things that I know, they are just a build up. I will share as the time, when I feel that the time is right. But because there are things that I'm planning and the things that are on the pipeline, I feel like I need to prioritize certain things. And the second thing that I want to do, we're going to get back to the money, but first I just want to jot down what I'm thinking and what is it that I want to do with this money, so that when you come to the money part, it's a matter of just figuring out how do I then split this 44,000. Normally that's my thought process. In most cases it will be just 36,000 gone, whatever that is left I'll spend on me. But this year I need to be very intentional, because there's just a lot going on. As you know, I'm getting married, it's just a lot of things. So the second one is, I do have a debt, which is a debt that I took when I was buying this phone. So when I was buying this phone, I took out a debt, and I now have decided that I want to pay it off. I'm good. Currently, I am paying 1,560 for this. It's not just for the phone. I pay for this phone I also pay for the data, of which I will never cancel. Never. I'll always have data as part of my thing. It's just that once I've paid off this phone, the cost of the data will now shift to just my normal expenses, my fixed term expenses, my fixed expenses, because data is something that you pay as you use. My plan, pay off the phone. Last time when I called them, and that was in when January, I wanted to pay it off, and they told me that I would need to pay 14,000 something. I'm thinking that we are in May now. It should be less. Maybe it should be 12,000. It should be 11,000, because obviously when you cancel a contract, there are penalties. So I'm going to just estimate, and then we're going to put that amount here. And then the next one is, if you remember when I was doing my budget, my monthly research, I told you guys that I have a gap of 5,000 something. So I'm going to say May budget shortfall. I am going to be putting that under my bonus so that I can deal with that shortfall. If it happens that I do, because they told me that there's a set time where they process the rent from the agent to me for me to get that money. What I'm going to do is I am going to take that money, and then it's going to cover the shortfall. Then what will happen is that whatever money that I've budgeted here will then go towards my tax-free. So at least there's going to be some money going back if things go well. So that's going to be the third thing that I want to take care of. Another one is I want to buy my daughter clothes. So I'm going to put here my daughter's name. I'm going to buy her, I would like to buy her winter clothes when winter starts, and we're in May now. So obviously it is the time that we need to buy her clothes, and I'm going to just put the amount, but obviously it will be something that it's a joint effort between me and her dad. And then for some reason, you guys, you will find out that in this budget, there's nothing that is for me except for just the investments. And then another one that I want to do is I need to reimburse my business. I need to put the money that I took out from my business savings. So I'm going to put that money there. And then let me put home. So now what I'm going to do now, we're going to allocate the money. So the first one, tax-free. Let's push for 20,000. Let's push for 20,000 for now, for my tax-free account. And then for my MTN contract that I want to pay off, remember in January it was 14,000. Now I think it might be on, I'm going to put 13,000. Ngama you guys. It might be way less than this, but I'm just gonna put 13,000. Ngama if it becomes less than that, let's say maybe I'm supposed to be paying 12,000 or 11,000, whatever there is a difference, whatever difference it is, I'm gonna put it into my tax-free account. And then what I need to do is I need to call them, but I'll call them close to payday, so that as soon as I know, I then make the payment. Okay. And then I want to, May budget shortfall is how much? It's 5,294. That's how much I will need to add as a shortfall to cover the negative balance on my May budget. So 5,294. And then for my daughter's clothes, I did buy her few items. My budget for her is going to be 2,000. Initially, I wanted it to be 2,500, but 2,000 for me is fine. 1,000 is going to be for the school, the track pants, and also the gray long pants. 1,000 is not going to be enough for that, but as I said, it's a joint effort between me and her dad. Her dad likes to buy her on expensive shops. I don't do that. I just don't do that. I feel like it's a waste because my daughter grows up very fast. So 2,000 is enough, guys. It's enough. For the fact that I don't even have anything budgeted here for me, and it's my bonus and my birthday month. Anyway, it's fine. I reimburse my business. I need to put at least a minimum of 3,000 back into my business. And then for home, I want to put, remember on my monthly receipts, I said that I want to book the flights and the car. And when I budgeted, the money was not going to be enough. I budgeted 3,000, if I'm correct. Yeah, I budgeted 3,000 for that. So what I will do is that on my bonus, I'm going to offset the difference. So the difference for me to know that for the flight and the car, and this time around, because we know the dates, I'm going to book early. I'm going to do my best to book the flight early and also book the car early so that it's not as expensive. Normally, if it's a weekend, I know that for the car is going to be around 2,500, 2,800 at most. But then it might happen, obviously, with the deposits, it might be more. But then for the flight as well, there are flights for 2,500, 2,600 return, not just once off, it's a return, you guys. So roughly, if we say 2,500 for the flight, ne? And then plus 2,800 for the car, because normally I hire a big car because a kayaks where we are going says Lalin, so we don't, a small car won't work. The flights and the thingy together is 5,300. Then let's minus the 3,000 that I budgeted for on my monthly reset. Then we'll see I'm left with 2,300 that I will need to add. So I'm going to put the 2,300 here. Now, what I want to do is I want to see now that from the top to the bottom, how much is it going to come to? And am I on a positive or a negative? If I'm on a positive, then that's good. Then I can have a budget for me. I can have an allocation for me. So that could be the money that I can do my hair, do my nails, do whatever that I want to do, and also celebrate 50,000 subscribers, celebrate my birthday. Yes, like my birthday was good. Like my partner did the most, shame, got me a very nice gift. But I do want to just celebrate the 50,000 subscribers and also myself for my birthday. Haven't bought myself a cake in a while. And I do want to do that celebration on YouTube. So what I want to do is, let's just say 20,000 plus, okay, it's slightly more. It is slightly more. It is 45,594. So here's my thinking. For home, I need to have that. For reinvesting my business, that has to be there. My daughter's clothes, that is a non-negotiable. May budget shortfall, non-negotiable as well. And then MTN contract, I need to get rid of that. And then tax-free, it has to be there. However, on my tax-free account, I think what I need to adjust is just the... I am going to decrease my tax-free. Instead of 20,000, I am going to put 18,000. That way, there's a 2,000 that is going to be off. So let me see now where it puts me. Okay, it comes up now to being 43,600. Okay, so that's good. There is a little bit of a wiggle room, but obviously this is just a plan. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take this, and then when I get my bonus, first I'm just going to confirm how much it is. So normally what I will do is that I will take my normal salary from the overall amount that I get so that I understand how much is my bonus. I will come back and confirm here when I do my payday routine to say this is how much money I'm working with on my bonus, and then I'm going to make adjustments. If it's less, if it's more, I'm going to make adjustments. But at least right now, my bonus is, my amount that I've allocated is less than what I'm anticipating to get. So I'm hoping that it is not less than 44,000, because if it's less than 44,000, it means that I need to adjust further when it comes to my budget right here. But for now, I'm just going to keep it as it is. I would have really loved to max out my tax-free account once off, but it's just not going to happen this year. But as I go in the months, whenever I get my additional money and so forth, I will be adding in. But for now, this is the plan for my bonus, and I'm hoping that you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that it was insightful for you. And also, when you get your bonus, I'm hoping that you are also very intentional so that you see where your money is going. At least when I set a plan like this, I then know that, okay, when this money hits my account, where must it go? where am I going to put it so that it serves me? Because that is the most important thing. And money, guys, is a tool that when it is used right, it can give you control, it can give you freedom, it can give you peace of mind, and it can allow you to have power over your life. So that is why for me it is always important to make sure that when it comes to my money, I am very intentional. That way I allow it to do what it is supposed to do. Don't have to worship money. However, you do need to put it to work, because that's what it's supposed to do. Money is supposed to be put to work. And me doing this is me putting my money to work. With that being said, I'll see you guys on the next one. Please take care and stay safe. Bye.